Miss Virginia State University 2015-2016.
I am Maja Gary, and I was Miss North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, but you can call me Beyonce.
I'm Tyra Laster, and I was Miss Tennessee State University 2015-2016.
Hey y'all, my name is Khadijah Corey. You all know me as KK. I was Miss Virginia Union University 2015-2016.
Hi, I am Joi Zieh. I was Miss Savannah State University 2015-2016.
The best thing about being in your 20s is the excuse of being in your 20s. You'll hear the fluff of like, be ambitious, do what you can, right now, and which is all facts. But what I love about being in my 20s is knowing that when I'm on the ground, I can still get back up and there's still leeway for me to do what I need to do, to be who I need to be, and it's unapologetic about it.
Ooh, child, the best thing is literally being able to be free. Like, I have conversations with my mom, and she's like, I wish I'd done that when I was 20. I wish I'd done that when I was 22. Just having the flexibility to kind of do whatever you want, in a sense. Of course, little class, little poise. But, it's just one of those things where you're able to be free, be who you are, just kind of explore and just really, like, get to explore different levels of who you are. As soon as I graduated, I jumped on a flight. I said, yeah, I'm gonna do this travel thing and I'm gonna live it. So that's the best things for me, is traveling, food, friends, fun, just getting out there.
I believe the best thing about being in our 20s is that there is a plethora of information for you to get your own bag and stay in your lane. Okay? There you go, that's the answer.
Best thing about being in my 20s, it's an adventure. There are a lot of, we all go through a lot of things in our 20s, and that's kind of the place where we learn who we are. We learn ourselves, we learn what we like, what we will put up with, what we won't put up with. So I think the best thing about being in my 20s is exploring and learning.
I think the best thing about being in my 20s is time. And I say that to say, we have nothing but time. And I don't mean to be lazy or to not do anything or to waste time, but now in our 20s is the perfect time to make mistakes. It's the perfect time to explore. It's the perfect time to find yourself. It's the perfect time to figure out what works, what doesn't, and how to get over the hump of being in your 20s.
Student loan debt?
The biggest thing that I'm trying to overcome in my 20s is understanding that you don't have to have it all together. I think, we're always so pressed about, these unrealistic expectations that we have of ourselves being in our 20s. And it's always like, I gotta check this box. I have to check that box. This has to be done. I have to be married by a certain time. I have to have kids by a certain time. I have to be making this amount of money in a certain time. And so I think it's just really going with the flow, understanding that everything happens for a reason. And you are exactly where you're supposed to be.
Realizing that what you want will be there when it's supposed to be. I'm a perfectionist. I like it my way. I want it to be perfect. I want to be the one with the answer. And it's just how I was raised. So kind of letting go of that mentality, because that's just not how the world works. You're gonna mess up, you're gonna get an F, you're gonna get, talked to. And I think when you're able to learn to roll with the punches instead of being Miss Perfectionist and letting that go, everything is just better, so.
The biggest thing I'm trying to overcome is trying to stop keeping up with everybody. It gets hard because, the day and age that we live in, social media is kind of like the thing that runs everything, and you want to look on social media, see what the next person is doing. You want to kind of see, how can I keep up with the next person? It's just gets really difficult when you don't have that center, or you know who you are, or where you belong, or where you fit in. It's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses. It's like one of those things where it's like, okay, well, let me see over here what my girl doing. So she got her business, let me go and launch my business too, because now I need to make sure I'm up, within the know, instead of really just focusing on yourself and finding out things that, you like and what you like to do versus trying to compete and keep up with someone else.
The biggest thing I am trying to overcome being so type A, everything has to be planned and everything has to go the way I plan it, rather than just living and just going by God's plan and being okay if God's plan doesn't match my plan and how I thought it would look. Because a lot of the times, like, we think, oh, we're gonna graduate, we're gonna go and do this, do that, we're gonna have this job, we're gonna be married by 26, have kids by 30. No. No, sis. So just live, like, enjoy and be okay. I'm learning to be okay with things not going how I thought they would go. Learning to let things go how I thought they wouldn't go. It's hard planning things, or it's hard thinking or setting a mark for yourself and, quote, not reaching that mark. And then it's like, oh, dang, I had all of these plans and I thought things were gonna be like this, but it's not. And I've gotten to the point where I realize that's okay. It's okay to not know. It's okay for things to not go as planned. It's okay to live. It's okay to explore. It's okay to fail. It's okay to mess up. And that's the biggest thing I'm still learning, is to let things be and accept that it's okay.
The part about being in your 20s is we constantly have these check boxes of success, and we're placing all these limits on what God can do for us in this season, when we just need to let him orchestrate it, let him give us the vision and allow it to play out naturally. Stop looking at everybody else. Look at your own lane, stay in your own alignment, and do you.
The money handling? Really? Because when it comes to money and being in your 20s, we want to have fun. We want to, go to the brunches and all that stuff. And then we also want to be the disciplined person. And I also know that the more I realize, I'm kind of going into the second question, but the more I grow, the more I see that discipline and money really go hand in hand. And so the hardest thing that I'm learning is self-love is the highest form of discipline, and I just really need to kind of captivate that. And when it comes to money, if you want a goal, if you want to buy that new laptop, if you want to put a down payment on that home, you need to set those goals, and that comes with money, and that comes with money discipline.
The hardest part, I would say, is not keeping faith. When you don't have faith in what God has for you, you get distracted. You easily get turned off. Your alignment is really not right. And I say that because a lot of us today don't have foundation. A lot of us don't have principles, morals, values, and it gets difficult when you kind of lose sight of that. And I'm not saying you have to be spiritual or deep down. Some people follow Zodiac. Some people, follow other motivational speakers. But it's really all about foundation. When you know who you are, when you have that faith, when you have that sight, your vision is much clearer, and you're able to see the next steps. A lot of people, kind of lollygag and bounce on and off of the next person, but you don't really have your own alignment. So when you kind of get right with yourself, centered first, inside out, then you're able to kind of figure out where you want to believe. So that is the hardest thing, is keeping your faith strong.
I think just that. The hardest part about me in my 20s is thinking that you have to have it all together. We set these unrealistic expectations of ourselves, and I think with that we become, unhappy, and we're not, satisfied with ourselves. We're not happy with ourselves because we're trying to reach these unrealistic expectations, and they are just that. They are unrealistic, meaning it's cool to have, those goals, but understand that, even if you don't reach them, you're trying. It's okay, but to keep on trying, to keep on going, to keep on moving forward. Best lesson, you don't have to have it all together. It's okay to, have a goal or, something that you're trying to achieve, and you get to that point and it's not done, or it's not fulfilled. That's okay. I think it's more time for you to, try again, to start over, to take a break and move forward from there. So I think the biggest lesson is that you don't have to have it all together. I think the most important thing is to keep trying, to keep going, to keep moving forward.
The best lesson, oh my gosh, patience. I mean, if that is not a testimony in itself, I mean, patience is like something where you gotta be okay with being still. Okay, you have to be okay with literally soaking it in. Like, I'm a natural planner. Like, everything is by the books. If it's not in this book, I ain't doing it. If it's not, you know, part of the plan that I have versus what God had for me, then I ain't doing it. You know what I mean? So you gotta be okay with being still. You gotta be okay with not getting closure from certain people and looking for the answers or the responses. You gotta be okay with really like taking a step back. Sometimes you gotta get pushed back to move forward. And a lot of people aren't okay with failure. A lot of people aren't okay with mistakes. I mean, how else do you learn? How else do you move forward? So, I mean, I would say patience. Timing is everything, and God has his time always on time. So, I mean, if you not in alignment again, as stated, I mean, your whole aura is thrown off. So patience is key. Taking the time, breathe, exhale, and really just take it all in. Be still. Really, be still.
Goes back to that. The best lesson I've learned is forgive yourself for what you didn't know before you didn't know it. Everything that I do, I try to do my best at, but being hard on yourself is just a domino effect of more things. And when you're able to kind of release that, or to realize that it doesn't have to be a certain way, when you forgive yourself for not knowing what you simply did not know, everything else falls into place. And my last thing, to add a little, 1, 2, I'm truly learning that the highest form of love is discipline, and when it comes to that, everything else is in order. We give ourselves so much leeway to fall and get back up, and I think when you kind of getting to know yourself, when you have some discipline in your life, everything else works.
The best lesson I've learned in my 20s, I would say just release. Like, release the hurt, release the pain, release the past, release the standard of where you should be by this age, and just live, let life flow. Don't put so much pressure on yourself as, oh, I have to be married by 25, I have to have kids by 30s. Just release and just live.
Forgiveness is a two-way street. Forgive yourself and forgive others, not just to like move forward, but to just make sure that you're clearing your heart out, making sure you're living your best life, living in your purpose, and letting go of that past stuff in the back. Like, you can't control the narrative of other people, so you just have to do you.
My advice for others in their 20s, listen, be who you are. Be yourself. Like, a lot of people want to be the next person. A lot of people want to keep up with whoever else is in line, or, these Instagram models or influencers. Be yourself. Like, I can't stress it enough. Like, some people aren't okay with being alone. Some people aren't okay with, taking the time just to kind of focus on themselves, and I really take that time. Like, I value my own time. I value my own space. I value, who I have around me. Like, and that's another advice, is who is around you. That kind of interferes with your aura as well. And, if I don't got nobody on the same level as me or passing me, then we don't need to be talking. Sorry, you know what I mean? But like, it's just one of them things. Like, we should all be pushing each other to the next level. Like, my advice is to get with the right people. Be in line with who you are, know who you are, know what you believe in, where you're going, and write down your goals. Like, write them down, plan them, and let's work. Like, it's time to work. Tap in.
I would say relax. Things are gonna come. The man is gonna come, the job is gonna come, the friends are gonna come. Relax, live, enjoy, release. Just pray. God is gonna take you where you need to be. God is gonna place you in the job you need to be in. God's gonna place the people around you that you need to be around. So just relax.
Know who your friends are. Know who your friends are, know who your family is. And save your money.
I would say get you a decent group of girls. That is your tribe that's gonna hold you accountable. They're going to motivate you, keep it real with you, and have people around you that have the same kind of vision, kind of goals to make sure that you guys are all measuring up and leveling up in life. I think just having those people around you will make sure that you're successful. It'll keep you on your toes, and it'll always have you looking for the next best thing to do.
People in your 20s, have fun. You know, I think I forgot to mention that the other best thing about being in my 20s is that I can buy wine. Okay. So I think, you know, just being in your 20s is about having fun, you know, explore, find yourself, like, go to the day parties, date that guy, date that girl, you know, twerk a little bit, you know, do a little something, you know, have fun. Like, now is the time to do that. Travel, do all of the good things. Do all the things your heart desires. Whatever it is that you want to do, do it.